I want to bring in retired U.S. Army Major General William Enyart. Sir, always good to see you. Thanks for joining us. A lot to get to today.
Good morning. Great to be with you today.
Good morning. I want to begin with Russia's military exercise in the Sea of Japan. What do you make of this drill? And was it meant to be seen as a provocation? Your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it was certainly meant to be a show of their displeasure at the Japanese Prime Minister visiting with President Zelensky of Ukraine and vowing Japan's support for Ukraine. It's much similar to the Russians flying those nuclear-capable bombers off the Sea of Japan for about 7 hours a couple of days ago. These missiles were launched about 400 miles off the coast of Japan, so it wasn't particularly close. It was actually quite close to the Russian coastline. But I think also it's more than likely that Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping probably discussed the possibility of Russia taking such an action, because it certainly plays along with China's interests here, too.
Right. Also curious, I mean, you know this better than anybody. How do these Leopard tanks from Germany and Portugal, how will they actually help Ukraine on the battlefield? And when you hear the number 18, is that enough? I mean, it's obviously better than 0, but is it a drop in the bucket for what's actually needed there? Is it going to make much of a difference?
Well, it certainly is a drop in the bucket. It is, after all, the beginning. And so the Germans have shipped 18, Portugal has shipped 3, the Poles have already given them some. It's a beginning. Basically, you're talking about enough equipment to equip 1 Russian battalion tactical group or something less than 1 U.S. battalion. And the Russians started this war with 140 battalion tactical groups. But clearly, these are great tanks. They're much better than a lot of the equipment that the Russians are down to using now. They're using some really obsolete equipment today because they've lost so much of their frontline equipment. And it's really critically important to the Ukrainian effort because it shows that Germany is willing to support, and Germany, of course, is the largest NATO land power in Europe. And on these German tanks, they're scattered throughout Europe. They've been sold to virtually all of the European NATO allies, and they have the largest number of those tanks anywhere in Europe, far outnumbering U.S. Abrams. The great thing about them is they're in Europe, so they don't have to be shipped overseas like the Abrams do from the U.S. And Germany, as part of its sales agreement with the other NATO allies, required that before those tanks could be transferred to any third-party country, such as Ukraine, the nation had to obtain German permission. So with Germany shipping these tanks, it's clear they're going to grant permission for other nations to send those Leopard tanks into Ukraine.
And looking forward on the horizon here with this West weaponization, how do you see Russia continuing to respond to the West's continued supply of weapons to Ukraine? What happens from here?
You know, the Russians are really in a trick bag. They've been buying artillery shells from North Korea. They're trying to negotiate arms sales with China, but China has not jumped onto that bandwagon yet. They're supplying non-lethal equipment, microprocessors and other sorts of computers and that sort of equipment, but they're not giving any real weaponry or selling any real weaponry to Russia. The fact that some of our frontline tanks are moving in now, the British Challengers and U.S. Abrams, those are a real overmatch for the Russian armor. And the Russian production lines cannot keep up with the rate that they're being destroyed. So Russia's in a real bind here.
Major General, the UN's atomic energy chief met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky yesterday, and he warned that the situation at Europe's largest energy plant in Ukraine, quote, isn't getting any better due to the relentless fighting. In your eyes, what can be done to prevent just a full-on catastrophe here?
Well, this is just a catastrophe waiting to happen. And the fact that the IAEA has got inspectors now is a bit of a progress. They can at least keep an eye on things. But I think that we certainly need to amend the Geneva Accords and make fighting over a nuclear power plant a war crime. It needs to be declared a no-fire zone, a no-go zone, and an area around there marked as such, and have UN peacekeepers serving there to protect it. But of course, Putin's not going to agree to that. He illegally has annexed the province where the Zaporizhzhia power plant is located. And for him to agree to a UN brokered deal there would be tantamount to giving up control over what he asserts is Russian sovereign territory.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.